Favourite moment from the character of Bane in all media?
Well, it's got to be when Superman puts on Batman's outfit and fights Bane, and Bane's like, what? Bane is a fictional character best known in the comics he hails from for once snapping Batman's spine like a carrot being dropped into a blender, and from his most recent live-action appearance for rocking the shit out of a shearling coat. A shearling coat, it turns out, took longer to make than almost anything else in the entire film.
So which coat is this?
Well, that's a fair question, because Bane wears like 2 different coats, to my knowledge, in this movie that are like sick, awesome baller that I would love to own. So specifically for the people audience at home, I'm talking about this coat right here, which is a shearling coat designed by a costume designer. I think it's won an Oscar for her work, called Lindy Henning. The thing is, though, I don't even understand why Bane feels the need to wear a coat in this movie, because holy shit, dem arms, though. Because how beef is Bane in this movie? I know Bane in the comics is like fucking ginormous, but how did one man just attain such size in such a short amount of time? Did you hear about how Tom Hardy got as big as he did?
I didn't know.
It's because prior to filming The Dark Knight Rises, he was filming a movie called Bronson, which is about a guy called Charles Bronson. That's not his real... I think he's changed his name to something else now. You can look it up and put it in the fact Bible if it is. But he's a prisoner in the United Kingdom known for being the most dangerous man in all of Britain. And he's been in solitary confinement for about like 20 fucking years. And he's well known for being potentially one of the strongest human beings to have ever lived, because all he ever does is work out. And he has his own little workout book called How to Get Fit Like Charles Bronson. Because he spends all day in solitary confinement just working out. And he's developed exercise for every individual part of the human anatomy, including the penis. There is a chapter in his book, which I have at home, which is hilarious, dedicated to how to increase the size and strength of your erection. And you know what? If the men at home who are curious, you don't look it up, it involves a towel. That's all I'm going to say.
Can I borrow this book?
Can you borrow this book? Yeah, no worries, no worries. But the thing like Bronson, find some of the stuff that I've written an article about and that we'll probably do in a video one day. Put some little facts below about like the kind of shit he's done. Because my personal favourite is he once punched through bulletproof glass. He once tore a washing machine, like a prison-issue washing machine, designed for industrial loads that was cemented to the wall, out of the wall and threw it at somebody. He was once denied a cup of tea by a guard, so he picked him up and ran away. He once single-handedly held off an entire anti-riot prison squad on his own because someone messed up his fucking jigsaw puzzle or some shit like that. And my personal favourite is he's been in solitary confinement for so long, he wears these eye-protecting sunglasses. And these glasses got broken in a scuffle with guards, and Bronson just put the word out that I would like to speak to the guard who broke my glasses, and that guard quit his job and changed fucking prisons. That's how terrifying this man is. And obviously, when Tom Hardy got offered the role to play, and he went and met with Bronson, the very first thing Bronson did is one look at Tom Hardy and went, not big enough. That was the entirety of their interaction, and Tom Hardy went, I'll do you proud, mate, because I know how much your physicality is important to you and you as a person. So he went home, and Tom Hardy said, I just did 1,000 press-ups every day for 3 weeks. And then went back in, Bronson saw my progress and went, all right, I like where this is going. And apparently he shaved off his trademark mustache and gave it to Tom Hardy. But they'd already filmed those scenes, so he was a bit upset.
Wait. Gave it to Tom Hardy?
Yeah, he said you can wear it as a fake mustache if you want. He went, we've already got one for the movie. And I wish someone had told me. So obviously when he was cast to play Bane, he was still doing the workout of the craziest and strongest man in British prisons. So I think it kind of dovetailed into the perfect role. Which makes me think if Charles Bronson wasn't in prison, he would have auditioned for the role as well. And you'd have Bane, instead of having the huge dumb mask, have a big curly moustache and sunglasses. He'd look like Dr. Robotnik, man. Oh.
So while we're talking about the arms...
To give them their proper title, yes.
Who do you think in fiction has the most impressive arms?
Well, it has to be Chris fucking Redfield, man. I know someone out there's going, oh no, this character has bigger arms or has better feats of strength, but allow me to make my case at least, and that is that Chris Redfield in Resident Evil canon is a mortal man. He is just a dude who really fucking hates zombies. And he gets his ass handed to him by Albert Wesker in a fist fight because Albert Wesker is powered up with ultra zombie virus. And Chris Redfield, rather than going, oh well, fuck me, he's got superpowers. No, he goes home, he hits the fucking gym for 5 years straight and puts on like 100 pounds of muscle mass to the point where at the end of Resident Evil 5, he is fist fighting a fucking boulder and wins. The same thing in the previous game can absolutely wreck the shit of Leon Kennedy, which makes me believe that if Resident Evil 4 had starred Resident Evil 5's version of Chris Redfield, those those button prompts where you're running away from the boulder would have just been him turning around like Tristan in Yu-Gi-Oh! And punching the boulder and making it explode. Holy fuck, man. So can you do that for me now? Can you create some sort of amalgamation of things here where I want to see the Leon Kennedy run away from a boulder, but with Chris Redfield's face on him, but then smash cuts to the part in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where Tristan punches the boulder with also Chris Redfield's face on it. Can you do that for me now? And for the people at home?
Okay.
Yes, I'll send you the links later, because you don't seem to know what anything I've just mentioned is. So, you know what? We're not even going to talk anymore, because that's the most impressive. Fuck it, no. Because the best part about Chris Redfield's getting that fucking beef is you can ask for items off your partner in that game. It's the only thing I ever did is ask for eggs. It's like, give me an egg. Egg. Sheva, give me an egg. I need an egg. It's like, Chris needs his protein. Never stop.
So how did the designer of Bane's coat describe the intention when she made it?
But when she was designing it, she envisioned the coat as being a subtle cross between a Swedish army jacket and a French Revolution frock coat. And she designed it to make Bane look equal parts dictator and revolutionary with a little bit of showy dicker thrown in there for good measure.
And he said it was a shearling coat.
It's a shearling coat, yes, and apparently, according to Hemming, it was an absolute ball ache to make because at the time, shearling coats weren't in, which meant nobody in or around Los Angeles had the materials to make the coat or knew how to work with them, which meant she had to travel to get them and then get people in who knew what the fuck they were doing with shearling. And she said it went through a year of designing and making and tinkering to get the coat to look exactly right. And I think the end result speaks for itself, because that coat was fucking boss. Because I think on Google, searches for Bane's coat just spiked immediately after the movie release, and loads of people were trying to get themselves this coat looks awesome. Because as I mentioned, shearling coats weren't in at the time, so people weren't familiar with what the fuck it was. So it was I need to buy this coat, looks awesome, I need one. And the annoying thing for Hemming was after she'd painstakingly went through the process of designing, making, tracking down the materials for this coat, GQ magazine ran a piece on shearling coats and why they were that season's hottest look. Which meant that shearling coats almost immediately were in fashion, which really annoyed Hemming because she was interviewed by GQ magazine. They asked, so Bane's wearing a shearling coat here. That's very in this season. She goes, yeah, it wasn't when I designed it. I wish someone would have told me it had been in a year, because I could have took a fucking year off. Everyone thinks we copied you, and it's not, because obviously she was designing it for a year. And what makes it more hilarious is during the same time it took Hemming to design, make, track down the materials for the coat, do you know what the prop department managed to make?
What?
They managed to design and build the life-size version of the Bat. The flying Batmobile. I think they did that in 5 months. So in half the time it took Lindy Hemming to make one coat, the prop department made a flying Batmobile.
What would you rather have? One coat or 2 Batmobiles?
You know what of that coat? The annoying thing is you can buy reproductions of that coat and they look okay, but the problem is obviously that is a professionally tailored coat made by an award-winning costume designer that was specifically tailored exactly to Tom Hardy's measurements, which is why it fits him perfectly. And that's annoying because there are so many cool looks in fiction that ordinary people like me and you, we can never pull them off because we don't have the time or the money to make the alterations to the outfit to make it fit as well as it does in the movies, which I think is why you get so many people trying to pull off that look. And something funny people at home might want to do is just look for Bane's coat on Google Images and go look at all the people who've bought what they think is, I bought Bane's coat, look how cool it looks, and they're just buried in this giant fucking coat, like that monkey who got lost in IKEA. Do you know that one?
No.
They all look like that. Have you ever seen that?
I haven't seen that.
There was a monkey that got lost in IKEA. It was found wearing a little bomber jacket. It looks fucking awesome. But they all just look like that, buried in this giant coat. It's well, obviously you can't put off, because obviously this coat wasn't tailored specifically for your body type.
Do you reckon that's because every single replica was tailored for the arm?
Tom Hardy.
It's they took the measurements of Tom Hardy. If you want the perfect coat, we've got to make it look like his. It looks like you're putting a cocktail stick in a Pringles tube. It's just too much space.
I always say putting a baby's arm in a Pringles tube or whatever. Yeah, yours works too. Yeah, it's a problem, isn't it? It's there are so many cool looks and coats and pieces of clothing from fiction I would love to own, but I think you could buy like cosplay quality ones, which are perfectly, like they are fitted and tailored to specific body types, but most of the time I ain't got fucking tights. I bought this shit from Primark and it still don't fit right. It's well annoying. I've got a really awkward body shape. My body's really long. So I have to like buy like large shirts, but I am not a large boy. I'm a skinny boy. It's not good enough. I need to get, my thickness level needs to increase where I can pull off shit. Yeah, super annoying. It's like this shirt I'm wearing underneath is a large shirt. That's why I'm wearing this shirt over the top of it because it's a bit better fitting.
Yeah, I'm 5'7", but I have a giant rib cage. So I always, like, even when I was thin, I had to buy massive t-shirts.
Oh no.
So I always had, the tight here and they always hang down
barrel chested, yeah. It's annoying, but at the same time, like, I can't be arsed paying that much money for clothes. I'll just buy plain t-shirts and live with it.
Just imagine how annoyed Helen would be if she'd like, it's been a year and she's finally finished the court.
Yeah.
She steps out into the breeze and the fresh air, starts walking down the street, walks past a shop window, and there's her fucking coat.
Well, that's one of the things she says. Like, she could have literally just bought one and made alterations to it so it fits Tom Hardy better. But it's the idea of, she spent a year doing it, and the first thing she gets asked about is, did you copy yours? It's like, no, I fucking didn't. I made it from scratch, you bastards. It took me a year.
She was saying she had trouble finding the materials. Do you reckon that's because she didn't have enough to cover the arms?
Maybe,
that's what it was. They were just too big.
Just the surface areas. Have you ever tried like getting enough like material to cover the surface of like a small continent? It's ridiculous.
She makes one for like the biggest arms she's ever seen, puts them on him, and it's like shoving a duvet into a pillowcase.
Yeah, he just
get it in there.
No, he just does that thing. He just flexes and it explodes off his body. It's like, oh no.
Oh no, it's like the Rock in Furious.
That's all he does. I'm so fucking warm today, but I fucking rolled up my sleeve.
I've got the window open. Let me go open the other window.
The other window.
You can talk to the camera while I'm gone.
I'm not. I'm fucking taking this fucking shirt off, man. I'm so sweaty. Oh god. So why are denim shirts, or why were they in? Fucking hell, man. Bring back the Hawaiian shirt. That shit breathes. This doesn't. Oh, fuck's sake.
Just wear the Hawaiian shirt anyway.
Oh man. Well, I mean, because obviously I've got not one that fits, have I? Oh, denim does not breathe. Fucking hell. Speaking of which, right, let's discuss the idea of looks people can't pull off. Because I think it was like, as I mentioned, like, when that shearling coat came out, loads of people were buying them and then just like they didn't fit properly. Like, because it's a very heavy, thick material that you either needs to be quite taut. Like, it needs to be tailored or fitted to like, wear in a way that makes you look comfortable in it. So everyone's walking around looking like Drake on that one album cover with like, the giant fucking coat like this. So are there any other looks that you think people try to pull off but just never quite get it?
Well, I guess we'll stick with coats to begin with. We mentioned the Matrix earlier.
Yes.
A long, either leather or not leather coat, but a coat that comes down to your
ankles. No one in history has ever pulled off the duster. And we all know from like school or college or university, the guy who tried. Like the guy who probably wore a t-shirt like this, probably like an anime character on it, and a fucking leather duster. But they always walk like their head down. And that's the problem. It's like she hasn't got the number one thing you need to wear any piece of clothing is confidence. And people can see confidence. Like even if they don't recognize confidence is something you can notice it immediately, even if you don't think you're noticing it. And a person who's walking around, and you can tell when someone's not comfortable in those clothes. And it reminds me of this term a friend of mine coined, or maybe she got it from someone else, I don't know, but I really like it. It's manufactured personality. And it's like the people who go into a shop and buy like the pre-faded leather jacket with like the band patches already on them. And they wear it, it's like, but you can tell. You can just always tell, it's like, well, you bought it from a shop because you're not comfortable wearing it. But you compare that to like, if you go into like any like, some sticky floored bar playing like heavy metal over the speakers and they're all drinking like, pints out of dirty glasses, and you look and you just see that guy in the corner and he's just got the fucking long white mane and he just sat there sipping out of a pint like the cracked leather jacket and it's got fucking like Iron Maiden patches all at the back of it and like signatures from like other bands, and you're like, that guy woke up and put that thing on. He will wear that every day until the day he dies, and he's worn it for longer than I've been alive. Just exudes swagger because he doesn't give a fuck. I think that's like the number one thing you need to pull off a lot of these like looks, as it were.
Yeah.
It's like I quite like the look of a suit, and I would love to wear a suit every day, but I'm not confident enough to pull it off. Because I'm not like confident about my body shape, or because I'm really tall and gangly. Whenever I wear a suit, I look really, really tall and thin to the point where it's noticeable and it's really awkward. I don't like it. So is there any like looks that you wish you could pull off but can't?
Well, when I was younger, I always wanted to get a hat.
Oh, you do want to be? Oh, do you want to be a hat guy?
Yeah, but the thing, I'm pretty sure.
What kind of hat though?
It's not. I think it was a cowboy hat. I thought it was.
Oh no, that's worse than a trilby. A trilby or like fucking fedora. At least like they are kind of in, and if you wear like a plain t-shirt and like a nice fitted jacket over the top, you can kind of pull that shit off. A cowboy hat.
Well, at the time I was 16. And
That's even worse. If you're like 10. So I want to wear a cowboy hat, like Andy from Toy Story.
But it wasn't to buy it to look cool. I just saw a hat that I liked.
So you wanted to wear it to look cool?
No, I didn't. It wasn't for other people. It's because I like the look of the hat.
So why don't you wear it now? Why are you not wearing like a cowboy hat now?
Because it was too expensive at the time.
Oh man! Like, the thing is though, I've met Hat Guy. We've like people out there. You've all met Hat Guy. The guy who like his personality is just I wear a hat, and that's all that there is to them. And they are the most boring ass people ever. And I think though, to our mutual friend, who has like bright pink hair and has done for like the last 20 years and walks around in a trilby. And he's the only person I've ever met in my entire life who rocks a fucking trilby, because he didn't buy it because like he just bought it. Like, oh no, this is a look, I can pull this off. And he walks out of the house with a trilby, like a waistcoat and a fucking dust. And he pulls it. He's the only one I've ever seen do it. And I'm so impressed. And he makes me angry every time I meet him. It's like, I wish I had that fucking confidence as I stand here in front of 400,000 people wearing a t-shirt with a unicorn on it. And this fucking shit lid. Oh,
it's like,
man.
Any hat though, like there was a phase where I wanted to wear a flat cap.
No.
No. But the reason was because
why do you have such interest in such shit hats?
No, the reason was because my granddad wore one and he passed away. And I was thinking it was the kind of thing where I wanted to like get one of his and wear it in like his memory. But then I found out that there's people online who wear flat caps who aren't cool. So basically that was that idea gone out the window.
Well, the thing is, for a bit, I think there's a year of my life where I just wore a trucker cap every day. Because I had like really long hair at the time, and it always got in my hair, so I wore like, a backwards baseball cap. I was like, until I watched an old episode of Friends where Chandler does it, and I'm like, oh well, I'll just throw it straight in the fucking bin.
Yeah, I used to wear a cap backwards when I had long hair when I was playing football, because obviously
the Maradona look. Oh man, it's so bad. As well, like speaking like haircuts and stuff like that, I've got a weird shaped head. I've got a big old square Lego man head. And I've always wanted to like grow my hair out super long, but I thought I can't do it. I ain't got the confidence like the main style. And at the same time, I've got to think like go the whole hog, shave it off. So it's like weird middle ground.
I used to have long hair that like I have never almost never styled my hair. I've always had the I get it cut into a style and then I just wash it and leave it.
You should probably stop doing that. It's not a good idea, mate.
Occasionally you put
You've got an image to maintain now. Guy behind camera.
Behind the camera.
Guy behind camera.
I was talking to someone yesterday, and I was saying about I've got all these images and things. I'll live forever, and they were like, "Yes, you'll go down in history." I was like, "Yeah, my voice will."
Hey, mate, at least you don't got this image going on. This is the lasting image of me at the internet's going to.
There's worse looks.
If I slipped and died in my shower tomorrow, this is the image they put on my news. It's the latest picture of me.
I mean, that one that guy sent me on Twitter where you look like Jim Carrey.
I don't like Jim Carrey.
Yeah, there's a look you're doing where you look exactly like Jim Carrey. I'll show you.
We'll find it and put it behind us. That can be the one that ends. That's my legacy, folks. There it is.